If you try to blow smoke up our skirts, then you better be prepared for the fire. That's the loud and clear message that Marco Rubio and Roger Wicker just sent Secretary of Defense Lloyd Austin in this letter. And you're going to be shocked by the picture that it paints of how disrespectful and dismissive the DoD has been to these key members of the Senate Select Committee on Intelligence and the Senate Committee on Armed Services. And as you watch the rest of this video, keep in mind that the elected officials that make up the Committee on Armed Services have congressional jurisdiction over the DoD, Army, Navy, and Air Force. This letter to the SecDef that's dated March 8, 2023, is a follow-up complaint to a letter that the senator sent to the head of the DoD exactly 1 month earlier. This original letter that was addressed to the heads of the Department of Defense as well as the intelligence community requested timely answers to a series of questions about the Biden administration's response to the 4 objects that they shot down in American airspace. In response to their request, the senators absolutely got sidestepped and gaslit. And the SecDef didn't even feel like their request warranted a response directly from him. Instead, he directed one of his subordinates, the Undersecretary of Defense for Policy, Dr. Colin Kahl, to respond to the senators on his behalf. And the Undersecretary's response to the senators, which was 10 days late, represents an enormous rift between the Congress and the DoD, and an apparent disdain for congressional oversight on part of the DoD. I believe this to be the case because in response to the senators' questions, the Undersecretary informed them that the department would not be answering their questions, and then attempted to use Jedi mind tricks to gaslight the senators by suggesting that all of their questions had been answered in the February 9th and 14th briefings that they received from the Biden administration. And that's when the senators called BS. And they informed the SecDef that his Undersecretary's response was unacceptable, and that no, many of their questions remained unanswered. Some were even about the baseline facts around the shoot-down events. The senators then proceeded to put the SecDef on notice that the next time they ask him a direct question, they expect a direct response from him and not one of his subordinates. The senators then informed the SecDef that it appears that Dr. Kahl is spearheading a communication strategy that aims to hide the administration's missteps. During the February briefings, the DoD repeatedly sidestepped the senators' questions, and in a very Julian Barnes-ish attempt, tried to redirect their attention to balloons instead. They then accused Dr. Kahl of leaking previously classified information to the press in a brazen attempt to shift blame from and attention to the Trump administration. The senators also voiced their displeasure that Congress was not informed when the DoD scrambled fighter jets to investigate a UAP that NORAD was tracking over northern Alaska on February 1st, which is before they updated their radar parameters. I don't remember that one. Do you guys remember it? Frustratingly, despite the jets being equipped with 6th-generation sensor suites, the senators have seen zero data associated with the 3 UAPs that were shot down. And based on the FOIA response that the Black Vault got about the imagery associated with the UAP shootdowns being classified, it appears that they expect the American people to just take their word for it and believe them.
Come on, give me a break, man.
Come on, you guys.
So I now believe that the response that the senators got from the DoD represents the tip of a truth and transparency iceberg, and that the gaslighting and sidestepping that the senators received is only going to embolden them to relentlessly pursue the truth about what's hidden below the surface. And yes, the deeper they go, the more pressure and resistance they'll face. But hopefully the next round of congressional hearings on UFOs that are rumored to be taking place this April will make a splash big enough to make waves that will resonate across Congress, the media, the country, and humanity. And sharing this video with your elected officials is one way you can help to pursue the truth. Thanks for watching.